Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. We are officially on the road to Yu-Gi-Oh! 9. We are less than 60 days, less than 2 months away from this year's Jump Festa, where many of us are expecting a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime announcement. There are actually two super important dates that you want to kind of circle on your calendar that could be really important dates to getting a clue as to what's next for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime franchise. First and foremost, starting with Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. We are expecting Go Rush to have about 150 episodes, and we are anticipating it to end in March of 2025. While this has not been definitively confirmed, Go Rush is in its third year, and we have not seen a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show last more than 3 years since GX, and Go Rush certainly feels like it is nearing the end. Now, granted, I said the same thing when it was approaching the 2-year mark last year, but I can't see Go Rush lasting beyond March of 2025, and so many of us think that in April, we will be getting a brand new anime. Now, there are two different kind of storms brewing right now. You have your regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Jump Festa announcement where every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime has been revealed for the first time at, and then you have something going on with Konami Animation. Now, let's not forget about Konami Animation. Back in February, they shockingly dropped about a 5-minute video, which showed kind of previews for all these different archetypes. Now, some of us thought that maybe this was going to lead to some sort of lore anime. Well, fast forward 8 months, and we have gotten absolutely no updates on this studio and what they are working on, but that might change on November 21st. As per JBix, a very reliable user on Twitter, Konami Animation will be at CG World 2024 on November 21st. They will be presenting how they made Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game The Chronicles, focusing on Six Samurai and Zeus animations, and the future of the studio. Now, that last sentence is very exciting. The future of the studio could mean a few different things. We could get something as simple as they will continue to make Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content, or they will continue to monitor the animation space and see what's next. Or it could be something much more larger than that, and they could actually give us a little bit of an insight as to what they are working on. Now, many people have speculated that maybe we are going to get a lore anime in the year 2025, and that will be done by Konami Animation. They clearly have the ability to do something like that based on the 5-minute preview they did in February, and if the animation studio has been up and running since that preview, who knows what they may have created in these last 9 months. So a lore anime series could look very different depending on who you ask. Some people think that maybe it could replace the weekly running Yu-Gi-Oh! Animated series and have something every single week. Other people feel like maybe it will be a 12-episode seasonal anime and it will focus on one archetype at a time. Other people feel like maybe it will just be one episode per archetype, 15-20 minutes, and it will drop monthly or bi-monthly. There's a lot of different ways that this sort of lore anime, if they even go down the route, could end up working. But November 21st is kind of like an appetizer for the Jump Festa wait. That, of course, is in less than 30 days. At the time of uploading, it's really only about 3 weeks away, and we could get something major announced at that event by Konami Animation. Meanwhile, Studio Bridge is the studio that's made Sevens and Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, and if they were going to announce a new weekly running Yu-Gi-Oh!, it would, of course, be at Jump Festa. Now, Jump Festa this year, of course, it really depends on where you live. It is December 21st, Saturday in Japan, meaning it will be live streamed the night of December 20th, Friday night. If you live on the East Coast in America, just do your kind of time conversions there. But we have gotten an updated page, and again, this is per JBix earlier today. A very interesting tidbit is that on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Official page, or the Konami official page, there are no Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime characters. Now, this is a little weird. I believe that the Jump Festa page headline almost always has at least one Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime character on it. Now, the conspiracy theorists out there will say this confirms that Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is the last weekly running anime. I think that's probably looking too deep into it. It does have Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon on it, which of course are the aces of two of the most iconic Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters ever. It's led to some people already speculating that maybe we actually are going to get a Duel Monsters reboot. Team APS just did a video on that, and of course, that is something that has been discussed every single year for the last couple of years now, leading up to Jump Festa. A lot of people want to see it. Would love to know your thoughts on that down below. I think without Takahashi, it becomes a little tricky, and I really don't think we're going to see something like that, but you know, you just never know nowadays with anime. But this is going to be a massive, massive Jump Festa because one, we definitely want to see a Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, and two, if we get a Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, what kind of show is it going to be? Are they going to stick with Rush Duels, which we've seen for the last two iterations of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the last 5 years, or will they go back to Master Duel, which of course was Duel Monsters through Vrains, or will they do something that I want to see, which is a hybrid anime? Each character, or most characters, have a Rush deck and a Master Rule deck, and while Rush Duels are the primary play style of the show, maybe the arc finales can still be like your Master Rule duels, and you can give new archetype support that way, and you can support both versions of the game, Rush and Master, through one anime. I also think that would get people that maybe do not care about Rush Duels at all to check it out, because there are going to be Master Rule supports in Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 potentially, and maybe they're going to check out the show when if it was Rush exclusive they otherwise wouldn't, and maybe some people will say, hey, you know what, I'm glad I gave this a chance. Rush Duels are actually pretty fun. I think it would be a good way to kind of give the community a little bit of best of both worlds. I mean, I still think Rush would probably be the primary way to play, but I do think it's an interesting option that I hope they do consider and maybe execute for Yu-Gi-Oh! 9. But of course, we do need some sort of confirmation that we are getting a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. And another important week to schedule on the calendar is the end of November. Looking back 3 years ago, in 2021, we got the copyright of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. And when we got that copyright, some people thought that maybe it was a game related to Rush. Some people thought that maybe it was going to be a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, and Sevens was only going to go 2 years. And guess what? Those people were right on the money. Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush ended up getting revealed at Jump Festa, and that was one of those instances where about a month prior to it being formally revealed, we got the name of the anime. So if we get any sort of name that sounds remotely like it could be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime at the end of November that comes up in the trademark registry or in the copyright registry, then we probably are safe to assume that we are going to be getting Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 at Jump Festa. If we don't get something like that, it's not the end of the world. Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains was not leaked. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens was not leaked either, at least to my knowledge, copyright-wise, when those shows both got announced. So, you know, it's just one of those things to maybe keep an eye on. It might happen, it might not. But either way, these next 2 months are going to be, I mean, I can't stress it, massively important to the future direction of Yu-Gi-Oh! Animated content. And we have a two-front storm, right? You have one front with Kodami Animation and a potential lore anime. You have the other front with the weekly Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime that we have gotten now for the better part of 2 decades. But ladies and gentlemen, I would love to know your thoughts and predictions down below. What are you expecting? I haven't even gotten into the possibility of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie because I wanted to try to keep this as informative and non-speculatory as possible, although I probably did not do a good job with that. But there really are limitless possibilities. I'm sure if you're into video games, the early days collection, I would imagine we're probably going to get a couple more titles dropped. Maybe at Jump Festa that will be a part of that collection, so that's something to keep an eye on as well. It's going to be a really, really exciting next couple of months for Yu-Gi-Oh! Animated content. Let me know all your thoughts and predictions down below in the comments. Would love to hear from you. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.